Hey y'all, hey, welcome to Tab Space. I'm here with Monstars, and we're at Network Wednesday, which if you're in the Cleveland area, you need to tap in. I got a special guest here today, and I would like you to tell us about yourself. What's your name? Where are you from? And what do you do?
Okay. My name is Tay Mills, Tay Million. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm a big jack of all trades. I'm a life coach. I'm also a musician, a producer, an entrepreneur, and also a recent author because I just sold my first book. Shout outs. I don't got a name yet though, but we working on it. Look out for December for the new year.
Okay. New year, we got a new book coming out. Do you have anything specific that you want to promote other than the book? You got like an Instagram or anything you want the people?
Yeah. Okay. So you can always check out my content at the What is it? Life Coach on Instagram and TikTok as well. I do promotional videos for people. Anybody looking for some motivation in life. I'm very positive and goofy as shit.
Okay, okay. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. What's your goal in the next 1 to 5 years?
So the next 1 to 5 years, I'm looking to be in real estate. I want to buy real estate in Japan as well as America. What I really want to do is start to build a brand that can help other people really become a mental health activist as well. Because of I have DID, which is dissociative identity disorder, or in layman's terms, multiple personality disorder. It's something that's not really out here that a lot of people don't know about. Most people know about ADHD, bipolar disorder. I want to spread awareness for all mental health disorders and just honestly give people insight on how we live our lives, because a lot of people think we scary, or they don't respect us, or they look at these movies and they see this whole thing. I want them to see that we just real people, for real, we got superpowers that y'all don't.
Yeah. I think most people with mental illness have a superpower, and if you tap into it, it's something amazing. Once you can understand what you got going on with you and everything else, you know, I am very big about mental health advocacy, so I'm very aligned with you there. I love to hear it. I'm so glad to have you on here. Let me see. What other questions do I got for you? Okay. My last question for Monstars, and then we're gonna get into our own conversation.
Okay.
How did you hear about Monstars?
Uh, okay, so this is funny. So I was on Facebook dating, okay, and I just honestly, I really just some my business partner and me, we didn't fall out, but I just seen that really God was trying to tell me that not to get rid of him, but to really take my destiny into my own hands more. I like to let other people do stuff because I like to be a background character, but God constantly is telling me to be a main character, and I continuously don't. So when I don't, he makes life harder for me. So this time he did not make life harder. He gave me a sign before he made my life harder. So I decided that I wasn't going to let this time, as my therapist says, he says, when we going up a cliff and it rains, we can constantly let the rain, let that mud push us back down to the beginning, or we can realize halfway up that hill, it's a cliff that we can hide in. So you're going to keep falling down the hill, or you're going to go hide in that cliff, and then when it starts raining, keep going up and just keep going up gradually. So that's what I'm doing. I got on there to network, and I met, like, literally the first person I see is this guy right here, and he just like, yeah, what's up? I'm gonna be honest, like, I really need somebody that's like in the game that can like teach me, give me knowledge. He's like, hey man, show up to my event. And it's funny because I got here early and he wasn't even here yet. He was like, oh shit, you one of them type of people that show up on time. I'm like, yeah,
Don't be blowing up our spot. We be late, but we won't be late if y'all come to Network Wednesday.
Hey man, and I'm happy I came here because me and him had a decent conversation. He like, man, we should have recorded that. We talked about politics, all that. And then I met you. You were a very dope ass person.
Thank you so much. You were very dope as well. And I know we had a whole conversation, and I was like, if I would have just thought about it, we could have had a little bit of our conversation on video. But I'm like, a little bit of it we can kind of get into. So I was going to ask you, like, you kind of spoke about your mental health. What's something you would want people to know about your disorder, since you said that people misunderstand it a lot?
So I feel like even people in our own community even misunderstand themselves, and that's me being a part of that. I feel like the media always talks about us having like this hidden monster and we just gonna hurt people. It's a side of us that we can't control. And so I feel like in our community, we constantly make it a note to say, we is not evil. We is not what we see on TV. And I feel like that makes us kind of, we basically do ourselves a disservice because me personally, and I don't know about all people, but I have like met somebody else that was in this position for like personally to where like I do have a side of myself that is darker than the other sides. Why wouldn't it be? I was traumatized over and over again. I had to be put in such negative positions to where I had to protect myself when that was my mom and dad's job. It was them to protect me, but I had to do it. Yeah. So of course one of me is going to be a little bit more agitated, a little bit more angry, and a little bit more aggressive than the rest of me is.
Right. And I think that if people were to kind of put themselves out of like looking at something with a stigma, they might be able to say, yeah, I have a side to me that's not that desirable either. Maybe, I know for me, people look at me like, oh, well, my stuff's not as extreme as what you're going through. I'm crazy. I'm just not as crazy as you. And it's just like, why are we comparing or contrasting?
Because we love to invalidate our own pain and also other people's pain. So like the best excuse I can give you is when you talking to somebody, you telling them this happened to me and that happened to me, and they hit you with, well, you'll be okay as people out here homeless or starving. That's the most common one you get like that. But it's just like, I had to tell a friend, I was in a situation where I was with my black friend and my white friend. Now, me and my black friend came from the hood. We had to do some shit. Now, my white friend is talking about his parent. Now, his dad went through some shit and became an alcoholic, okay? And his dad had relapsed. And this time got his mom into it, and they both was like, they had to do an intervention. So he was just talking about the pain that they had to go through, like him as a son, to have to watch that and watch his sister and his brother that's younger, way younger than him, watch their parents come in stumbling, falling downstairs, having like them going through erratics. Like you can understand having those impulsive where you become erratic, but it's not because you drunk. It's because your mind is forcing you to do these things. But just imagine a choice of you wanting to be in that state. Somebody like me or you would never want to put ourselves in that state. It's uncomfortable. Right. But to watch somebody you love go through that, it hurts.
Yeah, and as a kid, you have no control and you blame yourself. Not even just blame yourself. You wonder, why am I not good enough for you to stop doing what you're doing to me?
That part. And so my black friend laughed like, man, what? Your dad just drank like and went to naming his shit list. And I had to stop him right there. I said, we is not about to invalidate each other. All our pain matter. Whether he got a drunk dad and you got your mom strung out on drugs, he as in pain as you in pain. Why do we want to invalidate each other? It's because when somebody has the confidence to talk about their emotions, it makes somebody else feel uncomfortable and feel basically they angry that they jealous that they can't say that themselves.
They can't express themselves or communicate that effectively. Exactly. So now I'm going to tear you down and make you stop.
Mm-hmm. And it's not good. I feel like us, not even just as a mental health community, but us as human beings need to realize that it's about the unity of us all. Like, we cannot do anything on ourselves. Like, we love to say we independent woman or we independent man and all this shit, but let's just be honest. God made us here with two people. Adam was with Eve, Eve was with Adam. No matter what the story is, like,
and he gave us all these other people for us to collaborate and, be a part of life with each other. Amen. And not hate each other, not divide. But ever since Bible times, people can't get it together. Mm-hmm. And we still can't get it together.
Mm-hmm. It's so easy for them to be like, oh, it's Lucifer's part. It's the devil. It's hell. It's
y'all blame everybody but yourselves.
Self-accountability and self-love. That is my platform. That's what I talk about in my music. That's what I'm going to always be the front line saying. I'm going to always count myself accountable for everything. And I am not perfect. I make so many mistakes. And people hate when I hold myself accountable. Or they hate when I point out that they do something wrong. They be like, oh, you always picking on me. No, I point out when you do something I don't like and you don't do that to me. So you feel like it's a one-sided conversation all the time.
And you don't realize I do it to myself just as much as I'm doing it to you. And that's why I can take accountability and you should take accountability. So that way we can all take accountability. And maybe we can have a good relationship with one another. But my generation, I don't know exactly how old you are, but I know my generation, this generation right now, we don't take no accountability. We don't take no accountability for nothing. And we've always had our parents to be like, well, my kid would never, do that. But they did. They did. So now what?
Yes, yes. It's like y'all generation is what I noticed like in this dating world, just dating different ages. Just seeing, I did an experiment. I'm an experiment. I should have been a scientist for real. I'm gonna be honest. And when I give me 20 years and you gonna see me win a Nobel Prize somewhere, you feel what I'm saying? That's my dream right there, Nobel Prize. Okay, so I feel like your generation is way more expressive than my generation. Like it's too, but it's either y'all way expressive or y'all feel like I gotta hide that shit because I'm tough. I gotta be a tough dog.
There's no in between. It's either I express way too much and I'm always crying, or I don't express with you shit. And they're both terrible ends of the spectrum to be on. You gotta be somewhere in the middle. You gotta have a gray area where you go, okay, let me control my emotions and have a conversation with you. And then you have to be able to turn up sometimes and be like, you know what, this is enough is enough. It's time for me to take a stand.
See, my generation ain't cake either, because our problem is we followed along after our parents. So our parents, it's not their fault that they can't express their feelings. And I'm not saying that you don't invalidate your feelings, because I know for a fact what my mom and dad did to me, that shit was wrong and they hurt me. But I'm not going to drown in that pain, because guess what? They weren't taught to do better.
Right. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You didn't know no better. If you knew better, you would have done better, and you didn't know no better. And there's times where my parent has come to me and been like, I apologize, and I'm like, you didn't know no better, so why are you apologizing to me? You did the best that you could do. And if you wouldn't have done things the way you did them, we wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be me. Yes. Another thing that people should understand is people say, I'm not my mama, I'm not my daddy. Yes,
but you will become them.
No, you won't. You are them. You literally, they see.
Yeah. But you're going to become them one day. I literally look at myself. I do certain shit. I be like, oh, this bitch is lit like a Christmas tree. Why is the door open for this long? The air's getting outside. Why is people coming in and out? Get off my lawn. Like, it's just insane how...
The beautiful part is, in the beginning, you get to learn how to become yourself. And then at some point, you notice that you are your parents. Yeah. But that's not where you're supposed to stay.
No, you're supposed to
learn that you are them and use them to put what you are. It's a combination of all three, y'all. And then the best part is that's not the end of your growing. That's just you in that moment. You get to become somebody. You don't even know who that person is. Why stop that? Oh my God, I'm so angry that I have these same qualities. Like my mom just said something today, I'm impatient. I'm just like, damn, I'm impatient as fuck. I'm like, Ma, you do so much. Or like, okay, so Elisha will be talking and I'll hear my mom. I'll be like, oh my God, is that how I sound? Like, dang, dude. Like, I am my parents. And at first I was like, when I first started to live with my parents, I live with my mom right now because I never got a chance to be around her when I was a kid. So God gave me an opportunity as an adult for us to be able to live together and spend some time together and get to know each other. And it's been a very difficult but rewarding journey.
Yeah.
It has been a lot of tears, a lot of fights. Like at a point in time, we couldn't even talk without screaming at each other.
Yeah.
But you got to break that down. Like you cannot give up, because giving up is literally how you lose.
Yeah.
If you never give up, you cannot lose. And yes, there are some situations that you should just change your method.
Yeah.
But that don't mean that you give up. You just change what you're doing or how you're going about doing something.
Yeah.
You know, that's what experimenting is. Oh, this part did not work. Let me move on to A, B, or chess. People understand. You always got to think there are always other moves that you can make, and always think like that. But then again, my therapist is teaching me that not everybody think like me. Okay,
yeah.
So
that's a hard one to learn, because once I learned, I'd be like, why are these people so stupid? And my dad be like, not everybody is as smart as you. Not everybody is as strong as you. Not everyone thinks the way you do.
Not common sense.
Or common sense is not common, baby. Common sense is not common.
It's taught, okay? Like everything else in life. And I'm realizing that now, just being in therapy, like I could be mad about anything, but everything is taught. Like nobody is born anyway. We are a blank slate. We're not evil. We're not this. We're not that. We literally are nothing. Everything surrounds us. And then also, I feel like it starts before you even come out of your mom. It starts when, as soon as your mama know you got a baby, that's when you start. And your environment matter. Everything around you matter. And
everything that's going on with your mom matters as well.
With you.
So her energy during that pregnancy, that's why y'all men stop stressing these women out when they're pregnant, bro. Stop doing that. And then y'all sit there and y'all wonder, what's wrong with my baby? Why my baby? Stop doing this shit. And stop wondering why your baby mother feels the way she feels as well. Stop stressing these ladies out. Make their life as easy as you possibly can. I know that shit's not easy for you. I know it ain't easy for you as a possible coming up dad, but
right, like I feel like, and I told my homie this, like for real, cause I'm like, he was like, I'm always gonna want to fuck another bitch, and I told him, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm 30 years old. I spent 24 years, 26 years of my life fucking around, and I'm talking about everything you can imagine, orgies, threesomes, everything, like exploring. I told you I experiment. So I tried it, and I'm just like, nothing comes close to just having one genuine connection. Like, the sex is better. How is y'all out here having normal sex all the time? I don't get it. Somebody was like, I was like, yeah, man. She was like, what'd she say? She said, I was like, yeah, I like to have sex, but it gotta be like I feel like, what's the point of having sex if it's not the best sex of my life every time I do it? Like, even a quickie, like, when you with the right person, every time you have sex, you touching their body means something. Like, you don't even gotta fuck them, and they like, oh, that's a connection, that's love, that's intensity. Like, that's what I want. But again, like, being a man, I'm like, well, maybe I might want to, But then I thought about it, like, I'm so content in myself now that I'm always going to have thoughts. You cannot deny your thoughts. How about this? Instead of you saying men take care of their women, how about don't lay down? And I'm not saying...
Don't lay down with somebody that you don't want to be your wife.
Exactly. I told my dude, I said, have 10 bitches. But if all 10 bitches need to be a bitches, you will make your wife and have kids with. Why are you sleeping with bitches that you wouldn't want to marry?
Thank you.
Got preferences. I'm not going to stop your preferences if you want to have...
If you want to do that, if that's your lifestyle you want to live, but it gets to a point, from what I've heard from them and from living it myself, it's not fulfilling anymore. No. And you stop even wanting to do it. Yeah. Like, you get to a point where you're like, I'm cool off of this. Like, this ain't it. So now what? Yeah. Now you want to settle down. And luckily I'm not 35, 40 years old realizing, oh, this ain't for me. Because if I was, now I've already... to y'all, I've expired. I can't have kids for real. I can't, you know what I mean? So it's like, now I wasted all that time laying down with people that aren't for me. And what do I have to show for it? Maybe a STD by the end of it if I were to continue to do that shit. Like, or kids that are broken just like you. Right. I don't want, and I've always said I don't want my kids to be from a broken home. I want my kids to have a mom and a dad, not a baby mother and a baby father. I want to be married.
That's why I don't got kids. I'm 30 and I do not have kids because I want to be married. I want my kid to be in have two parents that
I want a house. I need a house. Yeah. Like, we need to have a place for us to all lay our heads.
A millionaire told me, he don't give a fuck what you say. It's hard being a parent, so you need a motherfucking nanny. Somebody that's as much as part of the family as you, because guess what? You and your wife don't want to go out.
You need a village.
Yes. You need a village.
And you have to build your own village. If your parents didn't give you the village you need, you got to build your own village. So that's why it's so important to wait, because you got to make sure you got the right people around you too. It can't just be you and your girl. You got to have a good, you need an auntie. You need an auntie, godmom.
Like, I feel like when people become parents, and I say this to every parent I know, they forget that they are human beings. Oh, my kid got to come first. Yes, I get that.
But eventually you got to come first for a little bit. You got to give yourself some energy.
Yes, you gotta remember that, hey, you are a person and you deserve love and care. And I'm not talking about sex with another person. I'm talking about, how about take yourself out and get your hair did because you ain't did it in a while. Get your nails done, or
get a massage.
Get a massage. Go get a meal that don't require a fucking sippy cup.
Right.
Oh, my mom didn't take breaks. Why should I? And you'll wonder why your kid never take breaks, or they always feel like they got to hustle. I raised you in a good household. You had everything you wanted. Why you feel like you got to be in the streets? Because, Ma, you basically was in the streets. You was never home. You always at work. You always on the move.
And the streets raised me.
You never took a break. Like, never, ever. So if you don't take a break, and even if the streets didn't raise you, and let's say your grandma raised you, I watched my mom do nothing but hustle for a man on Wall Street, for a company that she don't even know the owner's name of. I watched her hustle.
And I want to clear something up. I did not. The streets didn't raise me. I'm just saying from somebody in that perspective, where the streets did raise them because their mom didn't. That's like, that's where I don't understand from my own personal experience, but I see it and it upsets me because it's like, I see why they're there. And people can look at it and be like, why? Why would he do that? Why would he try to go find a family if he got a family? He got a nice home. He got this. He got that. But he didn't feel like he had that because the people weren't home. They were too busy working. They was too busy doing everything else, putting a nanny or somebody else in front of them. And it's like, you got to have a balance where you got somebody to take care of them when you need a break. But you got to be there too. You can't have somebody else raise your kid and expect them to turn out the way you want them to turn out. They're going to turn out however she is or he is.
Yep. Geniuses are made. Any kid that is born can be a genius. It's about the parent and putting things in front of them.
Nature versus nurture.
Exactly. Like, my mom would tell me that, oh, you used to ask all these questions. I just want you to stop talking. But your doctor was like, no, answer her questions. And now as an adult, I love knowledge. I just told my therapist, I was like, man, I was researching for my book, was blood transfusion the right terminology to use in that instant? Before you know it, an hour later, guess what I was doing? Researching the history of blood transfusions and who had the first one. And then I'm researching the Pope because the Pope Innocence, what was it, the 13th, was one of the first blood transfusions, but they made him drink it in his mouth, and it was fucking children's blood. Yeah. So they both obviously all died. And I'm like, okay, so what made them pick children? So now I'm researching the whole Catholic Church. Like, I'm like, damn, man, this ADHD got me. But I love it. My therapist, oh my God. He's like, but did you love the information? I'm like, yeah. He's like, then don't be mad at yourself. I'm like, you're right. Like, this is just knowledge. And I feel like more people need to read, okay?
Read. Please read books. Please, y'all, read a book. Don't get on TikTok to get all your information. Don't get on Facebook. Don't get on Instagram. Don't use the shade room for your political information. Please stop using these damn pages to get your information and then go into these damn polls and wishing for people to vote for these people and y'all don't know what they stand for. You know what?
Hey, man, you gotta realize that your mind is honestly caged in because of society. And it's sad to say, I watch parents every day cage their kids into this box of like, you can't be a certain you, or like trying to navigate, how can I have my kid not turn out how society don't want them to turn out?
Right.
And it's just like,
you have to make sure that doesn't happen. You have to get off your ass, stop giving them that phone and that iPad, and go outside with them and treat them right.
Be active.
They won't do that shit if you treat them right.
Put them in activities that they care about. Get to know your children. That's the first thing. People don't know their kids.
And let them get to know you.
Yes. Oh, you don't need to know that lifestyle. What do you mean? How do you build a bond with anybody without getting to know them? So you feel like because they're a kid, you can't tell. You can put kid gloves on information. Yeah. You can talk about when you was a kid too and get up to a certain age, and as they get older, reveal a little bit more. Yes. Okay? See, I'm going to have a secret room in my house, okay? And I'm going to tell my kids about the secret room, okay? And I'm going to challenge them to break into my secret room, okay? And I'm going to tell them, if you choose to take this challenge and break into my secret room, and if you do it, I'll give you one reward. But if you wait and be patient, you'll get a better reward. And I'm going to do it for each one of them and see if they choose to challenge me and be impulsively and go for the reward right away, or if they choose to wait. And that right there is a form of manipulation of me teaching my kids patience and also challenging them to be better than me. I'm doing that in one action. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to look at life as balance. That's what my novel is actually about, the balance between good and evil, between everything. Because people will say, oh, you manipulating your kids. Oh, manipulation is bad. But
there's positive manipulation and there's negative manipulation. A lot of y'all just use it to negatively influence people, and that's the problem.
Exactly. Most bad things are bad things because we view them as bad things.
Because we make them bad.
We have the idea to change anything. Like if we decide that like this dollar bill is not a dollar no more and your phone is a dollar bill, if all of us say that, it's true.
Right.
We could do.
And we could also decide that these things are worth what they're actually worth. Is like 99 cents, but we decide to pay $1,000 because they put them together real nice. So we gonna keep paying it, and they gonna keep charging it.
Yep, and then when you don't make your payment and they cut your shit off, then you know what they gonna do? They still gonna give you another phone, bro.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna be like, well, you want this cheaper one, but it don't work as well. And I'm a lower your service. You can't call nobody after 10 o'clock. But you want a phone, right?
You gonna get that iPhone.
You gonna need a phone. Everybody got a phone.
Words, these brand names.
The iPhone.
We like this. Like we real let people dangle in front of us, and we don't look behind the dangle, man.
Nah, because we like being distracted. We like the little sideshows that we could get from time to time. Ooh, entertain me. Not everything's about being entertained.
Yes. Oh, it's perfect time for me to promote my podcast. So look, I'm about to start a podcast. It's gonna be called "Watch Me Piss You Off." Okay. Because I'm gonna piss you the fuck off with my view on her life. Okay. So I say real quick, I love my black people. I really do. But we is failing ourselves, and we.
Thank you. It's some shit that I really can't even like. I have some videos that they come in, y'all, but they might make some people mad. And I had one that I was really trying to make the other day, and I'm watching this and I'm like, you took every wrong turn and now you're gonna turn around and blame somebody else for it.
Yep. It's so easy. That white man made me do it. He did it.
He was around me. He was making me uncomfortable. Why were you so uncomfortable around a white man? What if that white man was so uncomfortable around you? Then it's a race issue, and now we all need to get on against him. And I'm not about to sit here and say racism either way is cool. I'm just saying we don't take accountability.
I'll be honest. Black people more racist than white people.
We
are so like I got so many friends that's uncomfortable around white people. They ain't never had a bad experience. Now I do have some that have been in places, but most of them is just off of propaganda what they see.
Yeah. You know, and it's just like all of nothing is bad. All white people aren't bad. All black people aren't bad. All red, white, blue, green. Like people just wanna hate each other, and I'm confused. If we all were to like treat each other as brothers and sisters, regardless of the color of any motherfucking thing or what any difference was, we might, not be at war all the time. We might not have all this crazy shit happen every day, but that don't happen.
Nah, it's because again, like you said, we quick to blame somebody else, man. I hate when that's why I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious at all.
I'm the same way.
I don't go to church. I feel like organized religion is a joke, and I'm sorry, guys. Like I don't feel like religion is a joke. I feel like organizing for you to judge other people is a joke because
the judgment part is what I can't get behind.
That's what it is. I've been in multiple churches and been looked at weird, been said things to, and I'm looking like, but you're a person of God, and I'm not saying all churches is like that.
I can only go to one where that I feel accepted, where I walk into a room and people aren't looking at me because of the color of my skin, because of who I got around my shoulder, none of that. And there are some out there, but unfortunately there are a large majority that give that you got to be like me or you can't be here. Now, they gave me my 5-minute warning, so I'm going to ask you before we close this out. You got any closing thoughts?
Yeah, okay. So I just want to say we should be more kind to other people and each other, and also stop being so judgmental and shallow too. Because your soulmate out there. I found a lot of people. I just want to throw that in there because I'm a lover. I feel like your soulmate is out there. You just got to stop looking. Start living your life and loving you. When you start loving yourself, then the person that's supposed to love you will come.
It gravitates. The law of attraction is a real thing. Once you do better, you attract better. So just keep doing better. Fuck worrying about anybody.
Yes.
Keep doing you, because that person's just gonna come to you one day. Yes. Literally, like Prince Charming. Yes. But Prince Charming only works when you work on yourself.
Amen. And then also, so I am an artist, so I'll rap, okay, but Elisha, one of my other personalities, she is our producer. She is called the Switch Up Queen, and that's because all of our beats switch up. The chorus never sounds like the verse, and the verse switches up at least 3 times. So it's basically, I make music for people that with ADHD, people like me. Somebody told me recently, make music for your friends, and everybody else is just a plus.
Where can we get the music?
So I'm about to drop in 2 weeks. So just anywhere on any platforms.
What name we looking up?
You can look up the Switch Up Queen. That's what
the Switch Up Queen.
Or
okay.
Collateral Damage. Collateral Damage. That's my brand. That's me and my best friend, the Oz. Okay. Collateral Damage. We just made our first YouTube channel. We all new and green out here, so look for the channel. Okay. Collateral. What is it? Collateral Damage Official Music. That's what it is.
Period. We all new and green. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. It was a pleasure having you on, and I will see y'all next time.